Hello and welcome to Ditch Witch Diaries. Thank you for joining us. We've moved on from banishing to cleansing. And so we're going to start off like we do with the herbs, cleansing herbs. And Raven is going to start us off with a cleansing herb. And then the next week I will do the cleansing herb or next time. And so kick it off, Raven.
All right. So we are talking about Palo Santo today. I was trying to add a bunch of like cleansing stuff in the picture. I like the way that it turned out. Pretty
I
good.
love that.
Yeah. I love the little salt in the bowl.
Me too. I swear, like my boyfriend, he has this piece of Palo Santo in his like front, like in his car, just sitting there in his car. And
Yeah.
like it's like a habit. Every time I go in, I just sniff it. I'm like,
Yeah. Every time I see it, I do the same thing. I'm like, oh, it smells so good.
I know.
Oh. Okay. So let's talk about the tree. So the tree, the Palo Santo is translated to holy wood. So sometimes it's just called holy wood, but usually Palo Santo. And it's a tree that grows mostly in South America. So especially like Ecuador, Peru, and then like the areas there. And the tree is, I don't know how to say this, Bursera graveolens
Yeah,
maybe, but this is what it looks like. It's very spindly and like twisty.
it's rad.
I love the little cactus in here
And
too.
in the background there's cactus in both those pictures in the background.
I
I
know,
like
yeah.
that.
um,
I
okay,
wonder if I wonder
so
if we could get that to. I would love to plant that somewhere. Get it to grow around.
yeah, me too. I wonder if it's like if this area is hospitable to it.
No,
California would be more so than Oregon, I think. We're probably too wet.
probably. Especially since you see cactus growing in the background.
Yeah. Um, okay, so we have to start off by talking about the spirit of the tree. So, the spirit of the tree is the belief that the Palo Santo trees are inhibited by a guardian spirit or some type of soul, some type of entity or being. And so because the spirit lives in this tree, you should only harvest the wood after the tree has died naturally. So after it's like fallen down naturally, because if you cut it down, then the spirit leaves the tree, and then we don't get the good stuff that comes from burning the specific wood. So cutting the tree is seen as extremely disrespectful and seen as like disrupting the sacred cycle of like the spirit of like life and death and all of these things. And so not only are you supposed to wait until it falls naturally, but you're also supposed to let it rest on the ground for a long period of time, for years. And the whole point of so if the tree is alive, then the spirit's in the tree, and then it falls, and once it falls naturally, the spirit starts like a slowly leaching out or like escaping the tree, but it's a long process. It takes a long time to disconnect the spirits themselves from the tree. And so then you have to let it lay on the ground for years. And it's also believed like the longer the better, usually, because you want to make sure that the spirit is no longer in the tree. Um, and so um, the tree kind of leaving is, or sorry, the spirit leaving is what, let's see, as the spirit leaves, it kind of infuses almost like a footprint into the wood, which gives us like the beneficial qualities of it. So like cleansing, but also like bringing in goods and protection, things like that, which we'll talk about. So um I also want to talk quickly about is it cultural appropriation to use Palo Santo? I know we've discussed this before in our views on this. You and I think you would agree with me that we've talked about how it's not, as long as it's done respectfully, it's given credit, you give credit to the culture, and it's not doing it for profit. Like if you're doing either one of these or any of these things, then sure, it could potentially be seen as cultural appropriation. But if you're doing these things in a respectful way, giving credit to the culture and not getting any type of profit, especially like monetary profit, then I don't see it as appropriation. Now, I'll ask you about that too, but along those lines, part of this, Palo Santo, part of the respect is getting it from reputable sources because you want the money to go to these like old, original cultures, but also, and more importantly, in my opinion, is waiting to harvest the wood because it's been found that a lot of places who are selling Palo Santo, they're cutting down the trees, which is extremely disrespectful. And as I mentioned before, is kind of doing away with the beneficial properties of why we burn it anyways. So again, I wouldn't say that this is cultural appropriation as long as you keep these three things in mind, and especially buying from a source where you know doesn't cut down the tree and harvest it too soon.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that?
I would agree. I would agree because, you know, there are a lot of plants and herbs that we've discussed in this series that have started their journey in one place and then been used in another. And so we could go all, I mean, should we be drinking vanilla or chocolate or, like,
Yeah.
should we be using these products? And you know what? Like, that my opinion is that that's how culture evolves. That's always how culture, from the first time that we're a Cro-Magnon man, emerged. That's how we have translated cultures, is by learning from a use and then taking it in and either making it our own or being taught how to use it properly. And so I think that that's the same thing. I think that as long as I agree with you, doing it respectfully and giving, because again, where does it end? At what point do we say, like, every herb that was ever found in Ireland can only be used by the Irish, or whatever,
Yeah.
whatever it is?
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, there was a time when the Irish were a minority in America, or the Italians. My grandma used to, she said that people would say, when my mom was a little girl, there were people that would say, don't go into that neighborhood, the Italians live there. It's like a whole thing here. So, and that's how cultures, they aren't static within the culture that you belong to either. So let's also think about that. Like, cultures evolve even if it's remains within a tight, closed culture. For example,
Mm-hmm.
practices and rituals evolve. And so, and they take in other information from groups that they butt up against. So, I think that that's really to be respectful, to really know where you're getting this from, and I mean, you certainly don't want to be disrespecting any groups of people with your own practice, for sure. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I agree to all of that. I also feel like there's some type of, and I don't know exactly what it is, but I feel like there's some type of, like, it's a short step from saying nobody can practice anything that's not of their culture to saying, like, oh, people shouldn't marry outside of their religious affiliation or race or like, yeah, or their own culture. And it's like, so if I marry somebody or if I'm with somebody who's outside of my culture and they want me to partake in this culture with them, is that cultural appropriation? Because I'm not of that culture. I am by like association. And so I just, yeah, like where does it end? I feel like
yeah,
there's
well,
just this problem.
it's a huge problem because you don't know either. So, like, many of my tattoos are in the style of, or would be considered, cultural appropriation. People don't know, though, that the person who put them on my body was a Chicano man. So, what, like, are they allowed to put their images, even of their culture, onto people that they choose, their artwork onto people that they choose? I've heard that that's not cultural appropriation. So,
Yeah.
if you're getting it, but nobody knows. So you don't, it's just a whole lot of assumption, I think.
Yeah.
And while I understand like the idea of not wanting people to disrespect your culture, I understand that. Um, like I'm not excited about, you know, I I come from a Jewish background. A whole side of my family was killed in the Holocaust. Like, am I excited about people disrespecting Jewish culture in some way? Absolutely not. But if a group wants to have a Seder and they are not Jewish, or they want to bring in a rabbi, and okay, like enjoy yourself. I hope you do well researched about it and enjoy it. And I'm excited that the culture, that people are respecting that culture. So I think it's all in the spirit of how you do it. And
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think that cultural appropriation is a real thing, but I think that we have used that term very liberally in some
I
instances.
think so too. And I think that a lot of it comes from the monetary profiting of it. So I
Yeah.
think that there's
Yeah.
that part of it too. Like,
Yeah.
white people coming in and stealing the images and resources and items from a culture and then selling it off, either like trying to make like trying to, what is it, make an icon or an idol of a culture,
Mm,
like a either that or passing it off as their own stuff. And that's
yeah.
real, and I don't support that at all, but I don't think
Yeah.
that's what we're doing here. And
No.
no,
Yeah.
and it's kind of like it's a plant that grows on our mother earth.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I don't think that I honestly don't think that. I mean, I hate to make generalized statements, but I don't think that any plant or anything that grows kind of naturally in the world should be like, oh, there should only be one group of people allowed to use it. Like, it just seems strange.
it's kind
But,
of interesting how different
anyways.
groups used it. That's like our whole thing with Ditch Witch Diaries, is looking at how
Mm-hmm.
groups use different plants and how
Yeah.
they tell a whole variety of different stories about the same
Mm-hmm.
plants. And so
Yeah.
kind of what we do is kind of an anthropological look at different plants to see what's out there. So
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. Okay. So let's go into the folklore then. So first we have the Tree of Love. So this story says that a young man named, I don't even know, Guay, Guay, Guayaquil?
like
I looked it up and now I cannot remember now. Fell deeply in love with a woman, but she didn't return his affection, and so he was heartbroken and withdrew into the forest and eventually died alone. So from his resting place, the first Palo Santo tree grew, and so his spirit is the spirit that lives in the tree. When the tree's wood was burned, the smoke carried the sweet, lingering essence of his love for her. And so, because of this, Palo Santo is associated with eternal love, devotion, and fidelity. And in some practices, couples burn Palo Santo together to strengthen their bond of love and harmony.
lovely.
I know, it's so cute. It's sad that he died alone, but lovely story.
Sadly, a little sad, but still.
Yeah, a little sad. We do love a good, like, sad story.
Exactly.
So then the Peruvian folklore is among the people of Peru, Palo Santo is said to house a protective spirit, as we've already talked about. And the tree chooses when it's ready to offer its gift. So that's why, again, like tying along this whole mythology is that we have to let the tree die naturally, because that's when the tree has, and their spirit in the tree has said, okay, I'm willing to give you my gift now. I'm going to lay on the ground. So the smoke is believed to call in benevolent spirits while driving away sadness, malice, sorrow. Some folk stories say that if someone enters your home with envy or bad intentions, that the smoke of Palo Santo will reveal their true nature and protect the household. Then we have like shamanic use. So shamans in like Ecuador and Peru tell stories about the how the Palo Santo spirit acts as a guide between the worlds. So it's often burned in different type of ceremonies, especially like ayahuasca ceremonies, but different type of ceremonies. The burning of it is said to again invite the helpful spirits and keep away bad ones. And so in the myth, the smoke is sometimes described as a ladder or a bridge which connects the humans with higher realms, which we've talked about.
Yeah.
And it was my herb, and I don't remember what the herb was, but that was the picture that we liked, where it was that guy with like the big ladder. Oh, what herb was that? I can't remember. But anyways, we've talked about another
I know.
herb that's
Now I'm gonna
along
look
those
up
lines as
the
well.
herbs. Was it like in the banishing section?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe not. No, it was, I think. What did I do for banishing? I did clay, and it would have been in the other one.
Clay and pine pitch.
Yes, that's what it was. Pine pitch.
Pine
Yeah. Do
pitch.
you remember that picture that we both
Yep.
liked? Yeah. So similar kind of mythology here. Okay, so then we have more like medicinal uses. So anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, antimicrobial, and these are mostly because of luminine, which is a really like potent um, like chemical in the tree, in the Palo Santo tree. And so we can use it for respiratory issues. So like the smoke or vapor from the Palo Santo tea is coughs or colds and flu symptoms, stomach complaints like Palo Santo tea. So you can actually we talk about burning the wood mostly, but you could also use the leaves for things like infusions and stuff. Has been used for like nausea, stomach aches, pain relief. You can use oil or poultices from the tree applied to reduce muscle pain and joint pain, especially ye old rheumatism cure. York.
York, exactly.
We love York.
Everything is
And so
York. That's why.
everything is York.
Everybody likes to use everything for rheumatism
Yeah.
for your
Or you can just
creaky
like
joint.
blind go into your cabinet, yeah, and pick one out.
Exactly,
York.
exactly. All your I know, I can't wait to have my herbs back out. It's gonna be so
So nice.
great. I know.
I just got a bunch of oil. I'm gonna make some oils. I got oils and I got I just ordered off of eBay some little like antique looking glass perfume bottles with like the glass stoppers. And so I'm gonna make oils in those, I think.
Nice.
Infused oils. Insect repellent, so burning the wood deters mosquitoes and other buggies, and it's also found to increase your like energy level and improve your mood. And this is uh, relating to the studies on this is mostly for using the oil, the essential oil, Palo Santo essential oil, and so I have a little interesting tidbit from the teacher, but there are a lot of studies done on aromatherapy, and I very much believe in aromatherapy. But a lot of studies show that a lot of the aromas don't have like a pretty significant effect on what we think that they have, but placebo effect is a real thing, and I stand by that forever. However, there are some essential oils that actually are like scientifically and empirically supported to increase things. Citrus is one of them. Citrus improves your mood and your energy level. Lavender relaxes,
Up
and
your
Palo Santo. Yeah, and Palo Santo increases your energy. Those are the only three that I know
really
of that actually have like backed empirical evidence. Yeah,
nice. It
it's pretty
increases your
cool.
energy, Palo Santo, or
Yeah,
oh,
it like your energy, but it's like the good energy, not like
oh,
frantic.
yeah,
It's like, oh, I feel
nice,
good now. I can get stuff done,
nice.
kind of thing.
I love that.
Whereas, yeah, citrus can get a little potentially can get a little frantic-y energy. Like, you're increasing your energy, but you're also like, okay, now I gotta get this done, get this done. And Palo Santo is just like dancing while you clean kind of energy.
Nice.
Okay, so let's talk about some uses then. So burning the sticks are the most common, but you absolutely can use them a variety of ways. You can get like packs of the shredded wood and burn it kind of like you would loose incense. You can also have incense sticks and cones. The problem that not problem, but I don't really like. Have you ever burned Palo Santo like cones, incense cones?
I haven't because I just get the
I
cones
don't.
burn the sticks. But
Yeah, I usually get the wood too, but the incense cones are because Palo Santo is just very dry, I guess, and I don't know if the binding doesn't work very well, but it's very crumbly. Like
oh,
the incense cones are very, very crumbly.
interesting.
Um, yeah, and so I have them, and they're not like cones. The ones that I have are kind of like um I don't know what the shape would be called. They're like cylindrical. They're not tapered. They're like like parallel. And if I burn it, it just crumbles anyway. So I usually will just break it apart and burn it like loose incense where I just crumble it. But
On
if
the
you like the
yeah,
cones, great.
nice.
Um, yeah, so I tend to see Palo Santo based on like the folklore and things like that. I do definitely see it as cleansing, but it's kind of like it's been saying, it's not like a harsh cleansing. Like with some cleansing, it's very much like if I'm burning a lot of trees come to mind. Like if I'm gonna burn cedar for cleansing, it seems like very harsh, like which is sometimes necessary, right? But it's like clean this shit up. Palo Santo is very like soothing. It's like cleansing, but it's like a gentle one, right? Because we talked about like the bringing in the good spirits or energies and then releasing the bad ones. And so it's like, it's not like a rough like get out type of cleansing. It's very like sweet.
Yeah.
And so oftentimes it is super sweet. Oftentimes, if I want to do like a good cleansing and I'm feeling that I want to burn Palo Santo, I'll burn something else first. I'll burn some other cleansing herb first and then follow it with Palo Santo. Um, I do love Palo Santo, but yeah, if I feel like I need like a good cleansing, I'm not gonna go to Palo Santo first. I'm gonna use it as like a follow-up. But sometimes I'll just feel like I need to like gently sweep my space a little bit, and then I'll use Palo Santo for sure. Also, I've probably told you this before, I'm sure, but I heard probably like 10 years ago now,
Mhm.
somebody was burning Palo Santo and I heard them describe it was like on a video or something. And she was trying to describe the smell and she said it smells like burning old church wood. And it has always stuck with me. And I love
Wow.
that because I feel like that's exactly what it smells like.
That
It's
sounds
so nice. If you've never smelled it, go smell it. Palo Santo is so nice. I love it.
yeah. If you've never smelled Palo Santo, make
Yeah.
even to pick up this. That's what it smells like. Pick up a
Yeah.
stick of Palo Santo and just put it to your nose.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so amazing. It's intoxicating.
Yeah.
Great.
It's good.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I got.
Okay. Well, awesome. I loved it. Here, stop your share.
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect. That is amazing. I love Palo Santo and I use it often as well. And I hope everybody enjoys their experiences cleansing with Palo Santo as well and bringing in in the process, bringing in a little bit of joy too. So, anyway, we will see you at the next Ditch Witch Diaries.